Hello dear friends, welcome back to my channel. In previous lecture we have studied direct pathway which is responsible for facilitation of the movement. Now in this lecture we'll learn the indirect pathway which is responsible for inhibition of the movement. As we know, the basal ganglia is responsible to control the movement, and to control the movement means it facilitates as well as the inhibit the movement. Okay, so in my today's lecture we'll see indirect pathway. Okay, first we'll see the connection of indirect pathway and then the function of indirect pathway and the role of dopamine on indirect pathway. So let's start. This is cortex. This is striatum, means putamen plus caudate nucleus. This is globus pallidus external. This is globus pallidus internal. This is thalamus. This is substantia nigra, and this is subthalamic nucleus. Now we'll see the connection of indirect pathway. So as in direct pathway, the cortex is attached with this striatum through this fiber. Now from here, in direct pathway, the fibers from striatum are going to globus pallidus internal. But here the fibers are not going directly to globus pallidus internal. It will go to the globus pallidus external. Okay. From here, globus pallidus external, these fibers are going to subthalamic nuclei. Okay. And from subthalamic nuclei, these fibers are going to globus pallidus internal. From globus pallidus internal, it runs to thalamus, and from thalamus it is going to cortex. So can you see why the name has been given indirect pathway? Because if we want any movement to facilitate, or if we want any movement to inhibit it, we need to control this thalamus through the globus pallidus internal. If we stimulate thalamus, it facilitates the movement. If we inhibit the thalamus, it inhibits the movement. And the control of thalamus is with globus pallidus internal. So we need these two connection, these two pathway. Fine. So in indirect pathway, the striatum fibers are not directly going to globus pallidus internal. It will go to the globus pallidus externa. From here it runs to subthalamic nucleus, and from subthalamic nucleus it runs to globus pallidus interna. So this is indirectly going. The fibers of striatum are indirectly going to GPI. That is why the name of the pathway is indirect pathway. Okay, now as I said, imagine a car without a brake. Okay, definitely you will meet with an accident. Fine, we need a brake to control the movement of engine of a car. Fine, so this GPI act as a brake. Now the one thing, the subthalamic nuclei and GPE, that is globus pallidus externa, they both are structurally different but functionally equal. They both has same afferent as well as efferent connection. So we consider this as a one unit. Globus pallidus external and subthalamic nucleus we consider as a one unit. Same like that, globus pallidus internus and substantia nigra. Structurally both are different. Structurally both are situated in a different area of the central nervous system, but the connections are same. Okay, globus pallidus internal is also it has an afferent connection from striatum, same like substantia nigra par completa has also afferent connection from striatum. So functionally we consider this both as a same unit and this both as a same unit. Right now no need to go in deep into this, just remember it. Functionally we consider this as a single unit. Fine. So this is all about the connection of indirect pathway. Now we'll see the function of indirect pathway. Now just like a direct pathway, this both the fibers are excitatory in nature, and this both the fibers consist of glutamate. Okay, and the fiber which is going from striatum to globus pallidus external is inhibitory in nature. It consists of GABA. Okay, this fibers consist of GABA. Fine. Then this fiber which is going from globus pallidus external to subthalamic nucleus, it is also GABAergic fiber. Okay, the fiber which is originated from subthalamic nucleus and going to globus pallidus externa, these are glutaminergic fiber. Okay, and again the fibers going from globus pallidus internal to thalamus, so this fiber also GABAergic fiber. So this is glutaminergic fiber, this is GABAergic fiber, this is also GABAergic fiber, this is glutaminergic fiber, and this is GABAergic fiber, and again this is glutaminergic fiber. Fine. So you need to understand this so that you can easily understand the function of this indirect circuit. Now this fiber stimulate only the few nuclei of thalamus, like ventroanterior, ventrolateral and ventroposterior nucleus. So it will stimulate the few nuclei of thalamus. Now we'll see the function of thalamus, function of indirect pathway. Fine. Let's start. Okay. Whenever you are doing some movement or you are having some thought to inhibit the movement, this cortex is stimulated and it will send excitatory signal to the striatum. Any thought coming to your brain or a mind will stimulate the cortex, and cortex will stimulate the striatum through this pathway, through these fibers. It secretes more amount of glutamate over the striatum. So striatum is stimulated. Fine. Simultaneously, I am going to write here. Okay, cortex stimulated. So more amount of glutamate over striatum. Okay. So striatum is stimulated. Okay. Now this striatum is consist of gamma aminobutyric acid. Okay, and this GABA is inhibitory in nature. Fine. So here you can see the striatum is stimulated. Fine. So more amount of GABA secreted on the globus pallidus externa. It is not globus pallidus interna because these fibers are going to globus pallidus externa. So inhibitory in nature, and this fiber so more amount of GABA is inhibitory in nature. So this fiber will inhibit this GPE. Okay, so it inhibits globus pallidus externa. Fine. Now, as you see, these fibers originated from globus pallidus externa are also GABAergic fiber. It also consists of GABA, but now this globus pallidus externus is inhibited. So it is not sufficient enough to secrete the more amount of GABA. So less amount of GABA is secreted because it is inhibited. So less amount of GABA is secreted over the subthalamic nucleus. We will see here, as GP is inhibited, less amount of GABA secreted in subthalamic nucleus. As the less amount of GABA is secreted on subthalamic nucleus, the subthalamic nucleus is inhibited less, or else you can say it is stimulated. So less amount of GABA secreted on subthalamic nucleus, so less inhibition of subthalamic nucleus. Less inhibition means it is stimulated. More stimulation. Fine. So here the subthalamic nucleus is now stimulated, and this subthalamic nucleus, the fibers of subthalamic nucleus are glutaminergic in nature. Secretes more amount of glutamate over the globus pallidus internus. So more amount of glutamate is secreted through these fibers and ultimately these fibers are excitatory in nature, and this fiber will excite GPI, globus pallidus internal. So as it is stimulated, it secretes more amount of glutamate, which is excitatory in nature, and it stimulates GPI, globus pallidus internus. Now you know globus pallidus internus is now stimulated. It consists of GABAergic fiber. Okay, so as this GPI is stimulated, it will secrete more and more amount of GABA, okay, on the thalamus. Fine, we'll see here, as the GPI stimulates, it secretes more amount of GABA. So GABA is inhibitory in nature and it secretes more amount of GABA on thalamus. So what will happen to thalamus? Thalamus will be inhibited. Fine. You can see thalamus inhibited. Fine. And because thalamus is now inhibited, it is not sufficient enough to secrete more glutamate to cortex. It is inhibited, so it will send inhibitory signal to cerebral cortex, and you know the corticospinal tract, so it will inhibit this tract and it will not be excited and you are not able to perform a movement. Fine. So this is all about the indirect pathway. It is indirect because the pathway is going from globus pallidus externa to subthalamic nucleus to the GPI, that is globus pallidus internus. So it is going connected with GPI in an indirect way, not directly. Fine. Again, this cortex is excited because of the thought, so the excitatory stimulus will be going to the striatum. Okay, it secretes more amount of glutamate. The striatum will be stimulated, so it will send this stimulatory signal to globus pallidus externus. Now this globus pallidus externus is it will send this stimulatory signal to globus pallidus external. Now striatum consists of GABA, so more amount of GABA is secreted here. GABA is inhibitory in nature, so it will inhibit globus pallidus externus. Now globus pallidus externus is inhibited. The globus pallidus externus also having GABAergic fiber. Okay, as it is inhibited, it will secrete less amount of GABA over the subthalamic nucleus. Because it secretes less amount of GABA, the subthalamic nucleus is less inhibited, or else you can say subthalamic nucleus is automatically stimulated. As this subthalamic nucleus is stimulated, it secretes more amount of glutamate over the globus pallidus internal. It secretes more amount of glutamate. Glutamate is excitatory in nature, so it excites GPI. It excites GPI, and GPI consists of GABAergic fiber GABA. So this GPI will secrete more amount of GABA over the thalamus, and GABA is inhibitory in nature, so it directly inhibits the thalamus, and because thalamus is inhibited, it sends inhibitory signal, or it is not sufficient enough to secrete the glutamate to excite the fiber, so it inhibits the cortex and it sends inhibitory signal to the muscle, so the person cannot perform the movement. Okay, just like that, whenever you want to hold any object, the flexus muscles are working and the extensor muscles are relaxed. Fine. Why? Because of this circuit. Because the one circuit, the direct circuit, is responsible for the excitatory function and the indirect is responsible for the inhibition, and both the circuits are working simultaneously. That is why you can perform a control movement, because the brake is present inside the car. You can control the engine of a car, or you can control the movement of the car. Okay, without a brake you cannot control the movement of a car. Just like that, it also controls your both the activity, facilitatory activity and inhibitory activity. Fine. So this is all about the indirect pathway. Now we will see the role of dopamine or substantia nigra on this type of pathway, because the role of dopamine over this pathway is quite different. We have seen the role of dopamine in direct pathway. Okay, it acts as a fine tuner, but in direct pathway dopaminergic fiber facilitates the movement, it excites the movement, whereas in indirect pathway dopaminergic fiber inhibits, it sends the inhibitory signal to indirect pathway. So it is quite different from the direct pathway. Let's say it. So the role of dopaminergic fiber over this indirect pathway is quite different. The fibers originated from substantia nigra and it is going to the striatum. Okay, so this fiber, it is attached with the receptor. The receptor is called as D2 receptor. We have seen the receptors in direct pathway, that was D1 receptor, but the receptor which is situated here, okay, this receptor is called as a D2 receptor. Now the role of this fiber over the striatum is totally opposite. In direct pathway this fiber stimulates the striatum, but in the indirect pathway these fibers inhibit the striatum. Okay, it inhibits the striatum. It inhibits the striatum. Fine. The striatum is inhibited. Because the striatum is inhibited, it will not secrete this minus. It is minus means inhibited. So now this striatum is not sufficient enough to secrete the more amount of GABA over the GPE. The striatum is inhibited, it is not able to secrete more amount of GABA globus pallidus externa. So this globus pallidus externa is less inhibited. It is less inhibited. Okay, fine. So this globus pallidus externa is less inhibited. This globus pallidus externa consists of more GABAergic fiber. So it consists of more amount of GABA. So because this GPE is less inhibited, means it is stimulated, it secretes more amount of GABA. Fine. So it is stimulated. So it secretes more amount of GABA over subthalamic nucleus. Fine. Do not see this pathway. Right now we are talking about this pathway. Fine. We'll compare both the pathway later. So as GPase is less inhibited or stimulated, it secretes more amount of GABA over subthalamic nucleus. Now you know this GABA is inhibitory in nature. So because of more amount of GABA secretion, this subthalamic nucleus will be inhibited. Fine. Because more amount of GABA secreted over here. Now this subthalamic nucleus is totally inhibited. So it will secrete less amount of glutamate, because this fiber consists of glutamate. As this is inhibited, there will be less amount of secretion of glutamate. Fine. Here less glutamate. Fine. So less amount of secretion of glutamate over GPI. So now this amount of glutamate is not sufficient enough to stimulate GPI. Okay, because the amount of secretion of glutamate is very less, because subthalamic nucleus is inhibited. So it is not sufficient enough to stimulate GPI. So GPI is also inhibited. Fine. So less amount of secretion of GABA over the thalamus, because GPA is less stimulated and GPA consists of more amount of GABAergic fiber. It will secrete less GABA over the thalamus. Less GABA over thalamus means less inhibition of thalamus. Less inhibition of thalamus means thalamus is stimulated and it sends excitatory signal to cerebral cortex, and through the corticospinal tract it facilitates the movement. Okay, so you can see the action of this circuit in indirect pathway is totally opposite to action of this circuit, because again we'll compare it. Fine. Do not see this dopaminergic circuit, we compare it. This is cortex. Cortex sends excitatory signal to striatum. So striatum is stimulated, excited. It gives as it is excited, more amount of GABA is secreted over the GPE. So this GPE is stimulated. This GPE is stimulated. Fine. And as inhibited, it secretes more amount of GABA over the GPE, and this GABA is inhibitory in nature, so it inhibits globus pallidus externa. As globus pallidus externa is inhibited, it will secrete less amount of GABA over the subthalamic nucleus. Less amount of GABA means less inhibited and more stimulated. So subthalamic nucleus is stimulated, it secretes more amount, because it consists of glutamate. Okay, so it secretes more amount of glutamate over the globus pallidus interna. More amount of glutamate means this glutamate stimulates the globus pallidus interna. This globus pallidus interna consists of more amount of GABA. As it is stimulated, it secretes more amount of GABA on the thalamus through this fiber. So more amount of GABA over the thalamus, so it inhibits thalamus and the inhibitory signal is sent to the cortex. So this pathway is totally for inhibition of the movement. Now as we have seen in direct pathway, the role of dopaminergic fiber is to help this fiber. Okay, in direct pathway, these dopaminergic fibers excites the movement, but in indirect pathway, instead of inhibiting the movement, they excite the movement. Fine. Instead of inhibiting the movement, they excite the movement. The function of these fibers are totally opposite to it. Okay, because these are the fibers, as there are two receptor D1 and D2. D1 receptor is situated in direct pathway, D2 receptor is situated in indirect pathway. D1 receptor facilitates the striatum and D2 receptor inhibits the striatum. So this fiber will inhibit the striatum. Okay, and as the striatum is inhibited, less amount of GABA will be secreted from this fiber to globus pallidus externa. So more amount of GABA will secrete from this fiber and more amount of GABA will secrete over the subthalamic nucleus. As the more amount secreted here, the subthalamic nucleus is inhibited. Because subthalamic nucleus is inhibited, less amount of glutamate will be secreted over the globus pallidus interna. Less amount of glutamate means it is not sufficient enough to stimulate the GPI. So globus pallidus interna will be not much stimulated. So it is less stimulated. Less stimulation means less amount of secretion of GABA over the thalamus, and thalamus is excited and then it gives excitatory signal to the muscle. Now why it is like that? Why the opposite actions are here in indirect pathway? Because this indirect circuit of cortex provides inhibition. Now if the muscles are inhibited for a prolonged period of time, it will be problem for us. If all the muscles are inhibited for the prolonged period of time, okay, it will cause some problem in our body. Fine. So this dopaminergic fiber shows some mercy to this indirect pathway. Fine. This dopaminergic fiber shows some mercy to this indirect circuit, and this dopaminergic fibers allows some amount, not much amount, some amount of the movement after the inhibition. Fine. That is why by this pathway the movement is inhibited, but when the dopamine is secreted over here, it will allow the some amount of movement after the inhibition. Fine. So always remember, in direct type of circuit, the dopaminergic fiber and the corticostriatum fiber, the function of both the fibers are similar, excitatory nature, and the both will facilitate the movement. But in indirect circuit, the cortical indirect pathway will inhibit the movement, and the dopaminergic pathway, the action of dopaminergic pathway are totally opposite to it. It allows some movement to happen. It shows some mercy to this inhibited pathway. So please remember this in your mind. Okay. Now we'll see the difference between direct pathway and indirect pathway. So in direct pathway, you can see the the fibers are going directly from striatum to globus pallidus interna, but in direct pathway fibers are going to globus pallidus externa, from here to subthalamic nucleus, and from subthalamic nucleus to globus pallidus interna. The direct pathway is responsible for facilitation of the movement. Indirect pathway is responsible for inhibition of the movement. The role of dopamine in direct pathway is to facilitate the movement and to facilitate the striatum, to excite the striatum. But the role of dopaminergic fiber in indirect pathways, it inhibits the striatum. Fine. So by this way, the total movement, the whole body is functioning. The basal ganglia is mainly functioning like this, and it controls the body movement of our body. Okay. So this is the most complicated circuit, but if you have understood it properly, you can write it down clearly. Fine. Now problem in this fiber will lead to Parkinsonism disease, and the Parkinson disease is the degeneration of substantia nigra or the dopaminergic fiber. So now in my next lecture, we'll see the mechanism of Parkinsonism and role of the dopaminergic fiber in it. Fine. I hope you understood my lecture. Still, if you have any doubt, you can write down in comment section. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe it, like it, and share it to your friends. You can also visit my Instagram account for more updates. Thank you very much and happy learning.